child, got my baby on mine. So, and I knew I kind of threw this one at you.
Yes, you definitely did, you guys.
Okay, so I threw this one at her because I wanted to show up authentic. And this is straight off the cuff. This is nothing written down. This is from my heart to hers. But first, let's give a cheers. We got our wine. Let's do a cheers. Could we? I'm gonna do it to reciprocity
and new beginnings.
And new beginnings.
Okay. What are the questions that everyone has?
I want to ask you, like when the doctor came in, and Dr. Light came in, and I went to go get you a UID in your arm. And she said, Mom, before we can do that, we have to do a pregnancy test. Like, that's just normal routine. Before we put a UID in there, we have to test her. So they did the test, and then Dr. Light came back in the room, and she looked at me and said, you are now about to be a grandmother. How, you're about to be a grandmother.
Yes.
So my question to you, Lyric, how did that make you feel?
First off, I don't think you ever known this.
Really?
Yeah, on camera it is.
Okay.
But when we went to the doctor, I kind of already knew I was pregnant. I just didn't want to believe it. I took a test before, and it was crazy how like the next week you were like, hey, let's go get some birth control. And I'm like, how she know I'm pregnant? Like, where'd it come from? Like, it came out of nowhere.
Really?
And I had literally just took a test a week before. So when we got there, I was just like hoping, that's a dollar test, the test I'm always talking about.
Okay.
So when we went inside or whatever, I already had a feeling like I might be pregnant. I haven't had a period. My period doesn't just flow like that. Something might be wrong.
Okay.
So when we got there and she told us that, I just feel like from there, my life, everything just paused, just dropped. Like I hit rock bottom, and I didn't know what to do or how I would feel.
Because keep in mind, you're 14.
Yeah, right. I'm 14.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know how everybody would look at me, or feel about how I was, stuff like that. So I just took it in, and my mom, she took me to the abortion clinic. And they sat down and showed me the ultrasound and everything, and I seen a baby in my stomach. So at that moment, my mom, she didn't want my life, because she had went through the same thing, so she didn't want my life to just stop there,
Yeah.
So she was more like, no, let's not have the baby, And something in the back of my mind was like, even if the dad didn't want the baby or my mom didn't want the baby, I did this, I made my bed, I'm gonna lie in. I have always been a strong person to say, okay, if I did this, then I'm gonna take care of this or whatever. So when I had him at 15, I literally just turned 15, and 2 months later, I had the baby. When I had him, I felt like it was just a lot. It was overwhelming. It was a lot. So I started being very, 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 I was being rebellious before. But now at this point, I'm like, oh man, I got a baby, my life is over, this and that. So I was drinking and smoking very young. Mama didn't even know nothing was going on.
Yeah.
But I was doing this, I was going out, staying out very long, being away from my child, because I just know what I was doing. I was a kid, and I'm like, I'm a kid with a kid.
Yeah. So let's go back. Let's rewind. No. She gave us a lot, right? Yes. Amen. Like, you gave us a lot. I want to go back to being in that room, and what I heard from you, Lyric, is denial was the first thing. I also heard deceit, because I recall when Dr. Light was looking at me saying you were about to be a grandmother, you covered your head with the blanket, and you stayed under that blanket.
I was scared.
For a long
I felt like
time.
I disappointed the woman that wanted best for me. And that was my whole thing was, I can disappoint Chas Nicole, you know, and that's not what I wanted to do at all. It was me, you know, running away, trying to, because, I tell you, I was rebellious. I ran away. I didn't listen to my mama. I didn't want to listen to nobody. I thought that I knew what was going on. I thought I knew, but I thought that I could do everything on my own. And I couldn't do it on my own. I couldn't. So those different things that you did put into me when I was a kid, hey, you're going to be somebody. Hey, don't let this stop. Don't let that stop.
Who put that into you?
You did that.
Okay.
And you didn't have it for yourself. So for a woman to not have that,
that's a whole word list. And you know what you just said to me? Do y'all know what she just revealed? Which you didn't just reveal it, because I already have owned up to it. Is that I was giving you something I didn't even have myself.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't have it.
And like a lot of women out here do not have